this episode of Horse Shelter Heroes.
I am heading to Washington, D.C. again, and I put this together. I'm super excited and proud of it. It is just a nice little booklet we can leave with them. It goes over all the laws.
She's officially rang the bell for her horse.
Oh my goodness, that's a fetlock fracture. Yeah, it is.
Awful.
Sorry, it's been a really hard morning. A lot of horses and a lot of pain.
You don't want to miss a single second of Horse Shelter Heroes.
I am heading to Washington, D.C. again, and when I was up there last time, I learned that they really like visuals. If laws are going to get changed, we really have to show them why and leave them with good professional material. So I put this together. I'm super excited and proud of it. It is just a nice little booklet we can leave with them. It goes over all the laws, what these laws would do, how horses end up slaughtered, and then it just goes into the different acts in greater detail with visuals. So I'll be leaving this with each one of the decision makers or policy makers up there in Washington, D.C., and I'm hoping that these will actually get into the hands of those that are really looking at making decisions, and they'll be able to read this and understand. These are all very, very important, and I'm really proud that this came out so good. I was so worried. I'm like, I gotta get it done and I gotta get it here in time. But yeah, no, it looks fantastic, and I really hope that these can really make an impact and make a difference on why these laws need to be passed. The other thing is I am actually going to be taking stacks with me. This one is over 8 pounds, and I think people really need to see firsthand, like, this is what horses wear when they're doing the big lick, and like, these are nailed onto their feet. They don't take them off at the end of the show. They live in these, and I'm gonna have to get it cleaner because, for one, I wore some white clothes when I'm up there, and it'll be very dirty. So, gotta get these cleaned. These are Glimmers, and they have been to Washington, D.C. before, and they're very clean. So I'm probably gonna take one of Glimmers. I'd really like to take this one that's over 8 pounds. So I'm gonna have to clean it up. And I'm gonna stick everything in this nice little roller case, because it's not like 8 miles a day when we're up in Washington, D.C. And if I can put everything in there, Jason, look at this.
Ooh, that's pretty. Uh-huh.
That came out really nice.
Oh yeah. I like it. Wow. All the important
Yes.
legislations that need to be passed with reasons why.
Yeah, so it's just really condensed little booklet there. So everything's gonna go into here, and then, which I gotta get packed up this week. And then as we go to the different offices, we're able to just roll this along. I feel a lot more prepared this time to go to Washington, D.C. than I did last time, and it's not gonna be the only time we're planning going there as well. And we got some really, really exciting things in the works that I think are gonna surprise you all this year. I just can't wait to start talking about them. But you just have to be patient because it's not public yet. I have been pouring a lot of time into the new website, and I've almost got one of them completely done. There's just 2 more pages on there, but overall it's gonna start rolling, so can't hear about that just yet. But we have all these different pages. It's gonna go into like rescuing, sheltering, protecting, some of our programs, and a new donate page, and join us. It's got a lot of really neat things here, and it's coming together very nicely, and I'm very happy about that. Jason is going to start proofreading it. I am very dyslexic. My mind is very good at designing things, Spelling things, not so much, but so he's got to go through and read everything, make sure everything's good. And then the new website will be going live, and I can't wait for y'all to see it. I think it's a masterpiece. So this morning we were going to do some castrations, and we were going to start out with this little donkey called Gustavo. But on Thursday, we noticed that he had a really nasty lesion that had some purulent material coming out of it. So this morning we wanted to do some pre-anesthetic blood work just to kind of see what his infection looked like, if he had any present or not. And it's really good that we did, because what we see is his neutrophil count's up, his red blood cell count is low, his MCH is high, and his platelets are very low. So it's really good that we checked this, because now we're going to have to triage him and treat his infection, what's going on with his platelets, and move him to another day for castrations. Because if we tried to castrate him today because of his platelets being so low, it's most likely he would not have been able to clot appropriately.
Dr. Gina is treating Gustavo's wound on his neck. She found it on Thursday. Doesn't look externally like a big deal, but his blood work showed some really concerning changes. So I'm very thankful that Dr. Gina caught that and that we didn't anesthetize him this morning. So we're gonna do some wound care and probe and see if we can find out why he has that wound on his neck.
We're gonna numb up the area, and we're gonna debride that really proliferative looking tissue, because purulent material keeps coming out of it. So we think there's a draining tract to an abscess that's more dependent than it. So we're gonna clean it up and help it be able to evacuate its contents.
Stick the tip of that syringe into the center of the hole and try to instill lidocaine down into the tract where the mucopurulent material is coming out. I mean, that's pretty serious step. That's how deep it is. Wow. So I'm gonna say, because we know the spine is in here, it would be a really great idea to take a radiograph with a metal implement in place.
So we're gonna take some x-rays of Gustavo, because Dr. Lydia took a probe and put it in there and discovered that he has multiple deep tracts. So we already instilled some betadine inside, because it's radio opaque. So when you take x-rays, it shows up, and we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna take another x-ray with the probe also inserted to see what we can see.
Can I see? Yeah, look how close it is to the microchip. Even if we can shave a tiny bit, or even just like saturate with alcohol, I think what's happening is it's such a giant needle that it's pulling stuff down in there with it. Like even one piece of hair inside your neck
is gonna
Do you want to try to remove the microchip?
I don't think we can, because I'm getting a lot of strong resistance
So there's like
when I'm down in there. However, it is now nice and open. So if the body decides that that microchip is a nidus for infection, it's going to kick it out. What he needs is systemic antibiotics.
Gotcha.
Kimberly and Dr. Gina got some radiographs of Gustavo's neck, and we were able to take a hemostat after probing and cleaning that wound. And we put the tip of the hemostat, which is just a metal surgical implement, down into the extent of the tract. And on the x-ray, the microchip is right there next to it. So we don't know if he's going to retain the microchip or if his body is going to reject it, but he's getting treated with systemic antibiotics. He got some vitamin B12 to help with the anemia. And Dr. Gina is going to do a wet to dry bandage for his neck to help pull that infection out further. And he was a wonderful boy. What a great personality for a donkey. What sometimes happens because the microchip needle is so big is that it can pull debris from the outside in with it. So it's not that the microchip was contaminated or that the methodology in which it was applied was wrong. It's just that sometimes something that big going into your skin could cause a reaction. So hopefully we'll get him feeling better. And he was supposed to get castrated today, so we're gonna make sure that his blood work is normal before he goes under anesthesia.
So we just got finished bandaging up Gustavo's little wound here. We got a poultice pad that's gonna try and pull it out, that's meant for dry wound dressing. And then we're gonna see what it looks like on Wednesday when we change it out.
We have an adopter on the way who's coming to look at Spotted Heart. Spotted Heart, if all goes well, will be getting an amazing home where she will be a little girl's horse.
What do you think, Lindley?
She loves treats.
Can you pet her? Was she rescued from one of the auctions?
Yeah, she come through one of our buyouts. You gonna take old Spotted Heart home with you?
You want to?
Yeah.
I like her. Do you like her? Yeah, she's got a little heart on her. Did you see that? Lindley, look at him.
And this is going to be your adoption photo. You will get to see that later on the computer.
Are you excited? Are you so excited?
You want to hold your horse? She's side passing. There you go. That's one way to stay off of them.
All right, you ready? Sign my life away.
She's officially rang the bell for her horse.
You gonna pay the lady?
Congratulations to you both. You are now the proud owners of Spotted Heart. You can go ahead and move her photo.
We are adopting Spotted Heart to be her horse. Eventually turn her into a barrel racer.
And then how was the whole adoption process?
It was really easy. It's very simple, easy. They worked really well with us, and we found a good horse that I think will be a perfect match for my little lady.
Alrighty, we have finished Spotted Heart's adoption, and they have decided to take her, and she is now awaiting transport to go to her forever home.
So we have some adopters here right now, and they're interested in looking at some halter broke horses and a donkey. So this is Coffee. She is more or less wild. We've had a halter on her a few times when we first got her, and she just kind of degressed. Since then, she's also heavily pregnant. She needs a lot of work.
I guess for us, it's more an intention of, because we have 20 acres of pasture that just needs somebody out there and kind of more a protector of the smaller animals we have. And so as far as lead and that, I mean, it's not gonna be as often, I guess, is more of the thing. Come here, pretty girl. You're so nice and hairy, come here. So that'll be few and far between, I guess. So it's not a big deal breaker.
We do have all of our other donkeys up there, if you want to take a look too.
Sure.
All right.
You don't have anything right now, as we were looking on the website, that's like older, trained, kid-friendly kind of thing yet.
Gus, right there, the mule. He's very well trained. He can be a little bit headstrong sometimes, but other than that, he's one that you can get on and ride. Troy's been working with him most. We actually got him with another mule a couple years ago. They came in together as a pair, and then we adopted them out as a pair. The family that originally adopted them, they ended up moving, and they could not bring them with them. So they brought them back a few months ago, and then they were adopted out as a pair again. And we were told they were broke to ride, drive, and pack. And they tried doing the driving with them and completely destroyed their buggy and their harness. So they're not broke to drive.
That's fine.
But he is broke to ride.
And the kids are like all over him, and yeah.
Now, like I said, he can be a little bit headstrong.
No, you're
Sometimes if he gets an inclination in his head that he wants to go a certain way, he will go that way.
He's really cute. How old is he?
He is, I think he's 24.
Holy cow.
So now mules can live up till they're about 45 or 50.
He doesn't look old.
No, he does not. And he doesn't have any health issues that we've noticed or that have been diagnosed either. This is Hector. That is Sunset. Sunset's pretty wild, so is Hector. We got the mini donkey right here, Chris. He was recently gelded maybe a few weeks ago.
Hi, buddy.
But he's the sweetest one in this group. You could typically walk right up to him, get him caught.
The biggest ear.
Yeah, he does.
All the better to hear you.
And then right behind him is Paquito. I would definitely recommend Chris or even Paquito. He's so young that you'll have no problem getting him to come around. Paquita will come right up to you for cookies too. So will Sunset. So will Hector.
Well, Coffee's definite because, yeah, she's already named the baby. But,
I was just kidding. It just totally came out.
just kidding. But I like her too. Yeah, good choice. I like her.
Good.
Does Wonton
They think he does because he's fat.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
chase after mice for us?
So you guys are taking Wonton too?
So it seems. I think they're taking Wonton. I think I've been outvoted. Is Wonton going on your lap?
All right, let me get a picture with you guys and Wonton real quick.
And then wonton gets one. Yeah, hold on. We need wonton. Come on, wonton.
So they are adopting Louisa, Wonton, and Coffee.
Congratulations, you are now both the proud owner of Louisa, Coffee, and Wonton.
So we looked at donkeys, and we lost a donkey that we had, and then we got another. So
We got a donkey.
Plus, who's this?
wonton. Hello.
We need a barn cat bad.
A beautiful Claude.
And we got a little pregnant donkey.
Yep.
And
Coffee.
a young horse.
Louisa.
And
Quarter horse.
little quarter horse. And we're excited to see what an adventure they are for us.
So they're taking Wonton home today, and at the end of the week I will be transporting Coffee and Louisa.
Our volunteer days will take place the first Wednesday of every month from 9 to noon, weather permitting. We will be doing projects like painting and cleaning and other things that will be pretty messy, so make sure you wear clothes that you don't mind getting dirty. At some point in the day, during our volunteer time, you will also get to spend a little time with our mascots Dino and Cowboy. If you want to come and spend a little time at our facility, we highly encourage you to come out to our volunteer day, and we look forward to seeing you.
Tomorrow is our buyout program day for the month. We know we have at least 37 horses coming, and Dr. Gina and Kimberly and I are going through all of our lists and getting all of our supplies organized.
It is the day before buyout, and so we have a whole bunch of horses in quarantine that need to come down, and as you can see, the sun is setting, so we're gonna do our best to do it before it gets dark.
Was I right on what breed you are? Are you gonna tell us? I think he's a Suffolk Punch. But we're not 100% sure. We only know is that he is a draft horse, but he looks like a Suffolk Punch to me.
And what's his name?
Boss. At least that's what I understand.
Let's go. You want treats? You have a very cute blaze. I like that. That's very cute.
So we checked all the horses in the 10 acre and none of them have fevers, so they're good to come down.
This is Cinder. She's the horse that was cast kind of under the hay feeder last week. She got meds over the weekend and she's doing a lot better. Her biggest concern was that she had a whole bunch of swelling basically in her forehead between her eyes and her ears. And she was on antibiotics and pain meds, and the pain meds have anti-inflammatories in them too, so that helped all the swelling to go down and everything, and she's doing a lot better.
All right, so we got everybody moved down here besides 2. We got a couple that are still on vet watch. One that needs to be gelded and the other one that was cast last week underneath the feeders, so we're keeping a closer eye on her or him. I think it's a her. Either way, they're gonna come down tomorrow. We just gotta figure out where. So I've got Spotted Heart here and she is going home tonight. I'm gonna be trailering her to her house. And she actually is gonna be living here in town. So it's not a very hard trip. It's actually pretty much on my way home. So let me go ahead and do that for them today. So we got her loaded. She walked straight on the trailer and I'm ready to take her home.
Today's gonna be a really busy day today. We have a lot of horses coming in, and Dr. Gina and Kimberly and I worked really hard to reorganize our intake protocols and supplies, and so we're loading up and heading up to quarantine. The horses should be here soon.
So we're about to have a quick meeting about the intake and what's gonna go on up there and what each person's job is. So Troy, I'm gonna kind of have you on call. The main thing I want you doing is when the trailers come in down here, try to get a head count as accurate as you can, see if it's the same as what they're saying they have in the trailer. Emily, you are gonna be in charge of pictures. So when horses first come off the trailer, I'm gonna be marking them, and I just need you to get a quick picture of each horse to post on Animals for Tawny so she can use them for fundraising. And then after we're done getting everything unloaded, you're gonna be helping with Dr. Lydia, holding the horse for her, as long as it's, able to be led and all that good stuff. That way she can work on that while I'm pulling horses in. So I think we're pretty good. I think everybody knows what their job is, and we're good.
We are packed up and headed up to quarantine. Unfortunately, Dr. Gina wasn't able to come in today, so we will sorely miss her as we go through this many horses with one vet.
Generally, when we do intake, eventually at some point in time, they're gonna get a full intake, which is gonna be a microchip. We're gonna pull Coggins blood. They're going to get vaccines, which is 5-way and rabies, and then eventually we'll give them strangles. They also get our oral medications, which is dewormer, probiotics, and electrolytes.
Hopefully we could save a lot of lives today, and I'm hoping that there's not too many that are in critical condition, and that we have a few that we can get into the training program and adopted out.
Rain is pouring down upon the memory of the storm. Worries in the hollows, regret is in the storm. You are not, you're not alone. You are not, you're not alone. If you ever lose out or break down in the cold, stranded on the side of the long and tired road.
Oh my goodness, that's a fetlock fracture. Yeah, it is.
Awful.
Yeah. I know. This group so far is pretty heartbreaking, just watching them get off the trailer. We have several that have very severe and obvious fractures, even just watching them move around. We have a draft horse that has very, very severe lymphadenitis and a very swollen leg. And we're just trying to make sure we don't let anything painful stay painful for too long. We've got several very bad wounds and injuries on legs. But yeah, just standing here, I see at least 4 horses that have fractured legs. It's really hard to watch them move around. We are pulling Coggins blood and getting photos on these 2 horses that we think is a mare and foal.
Looking at its teeth, it looks to be at least 2. I think that it's in really rough shape, and it's a shame somebody didn't make a decision sooner on this thing.
Oh, are we itchy? Oh, we're itchy. This could go in our favor. Yeah. See how much slower it is?
Yeah, he did really good for that.
He did great.
It's so good, baby.
Habituation of the nerves, it works.
He's like, she gave me scratches.
Yeah, I'll scratch you again. You're doing so wonderful.
He just got some Buyout for some pain management for that leg. It appears that it is broken or has an old fracture to it, but we're gonna get x-rays later and see exactly what it is.
Hi, is that your baby? I'll give you some pain meds, okay?
Oh, I always forget how thick this stuff is.
It is quite thick. So we just finished looking at a mare and foal. The colt, unfortunately, has absolutely a fractured carpus. Mom has some pretty severe puncture wounds and swelling on her right hind leg. So both of them got exams and pain medications, and then we're gonna do radiographs and more diagnostics on them. So this poor horse has I'm sure this left hind leg is fractured. We're gonna take some radiographs, but it's really severely swollen, and she is standing on it, but she kind of moves along without putting that foot on the ground. She's got very severe muscle atrophy back here, so that takes a long time to develop. This leg has probably been fractured for 6 or more months. And she also has a big wound associated with it. So we need a radiograph. Oh, 2.5.
Oh. What?
Yeah, and we did already get pain meds on board to help with the discomfort of this fracture. Blind in the right eye. I know, bud. This horse has a puncture wound. I'm gonna touch him over here. Hi, bud. We've got multiple wounds. Okay. Let's get some pain meds on board, and we need to take a much closer look at those.
This is a white, we're thinking Arabian kind of horse. He's older, he's about 25, and he does not like his teeth being messed with or his mouth, but I was able to get a quick peek there. He does have a few wounds on him that Dr. Lydia noticed, and he is blind in the right eye.
Yeah, that scab is really rock hard. All right, we're gonna put Corona ointment on, and we will do more thorough wound care and assessment. Stat, but not ASAP. All right, bud.
You're small. I can control you.
I like Corona ointment because the lanolin kind of melts into the skin and it helps soften up all the debris.
So this horse appears to have a lot of issues with its right hind leg. Dr. Lydia said that there's some fluid draining out of the front of its joint on the fetlock, and it just doesn't look good. Typically when we get draft horses, we get at least one that has something similar to this. So we're gonna give it some pain management to make it comfortable, and we will go from there.
So this draft horse has chronic progressive lymphadenitis. Unfortunately, it's something we see pretty commonly, and what's really frustrating and heartbreaking is that if we catch this disease early and we're aggressive with anti-inflammatories and antibiotics, it can be manageable and even reversible. The lymphatic system runs through the body with your veins and your arteries and nerves, but when your lymphatic system gets swollen for too long, it gets scarred, and when scarring occurs, the damage is irreversible. So this poor horse, if somebody had treated him appropriately a year ago, he probably wouldn't be where he is today. He is actively leaking mucopurulent, basically pus from the joint of that right hind leg, and he's got to be in a lot of discomfort. So it's always heartbreaking when we have diseases that we could have treated if we got to them earlier. This standardbred gelding is, I feel like I'm seeing deja vu. It's really, really sad. He's very painful in his hind end. He's got a bleeding wound over these back legs. Sorry, it's been a really hard morning. A lot of horses and a lot of pain. So we're gonna get him some pain meds, and it's just really heartbreaking that people let horses get this way and don't provide them with adequate care. So we're gonna recommend last act of kindness for this one as well.
So we just finished the first trailer with the group of 17 horses on it. We are going to take a quick pause for our lunch break before the next trailer gets here, and then we'll get started triaging the rest of them.
So I just received a call from adopters that came out yesterday, and they did make a decision. They want to also adopt Gus. They're not here to move Gus's photo, so I'm going to do it for them. But as of right now, they do own Gus. He is an amazing boy, and he's going to have an amazing life.
What? Yeah, they came with the horses.
Can I pick one up and squeeze it?
Yes.
Oh my
gosh, you're so cute.
So Dr. Lydia, what do we have here?
So are we counting this as
A
one
box
group?
of guinea pigs.
Oh, they're startled.
I would
They're
do.
like, excuse me.
They're juveniles.
They are. They're supposed to be all girls.
Oh,
Supposed to be.
Uh-huh.
They just surrendered them.
So they always say, look at how cute they are.
Y'all are some weird looking horses. Aw, how cute. I know. That's a first.
Oh, made by a whole day. So along with our 2 trailers of horses we just got, we have the cutest little guinea pigs. I know, you're so scared. Come here. Oh, and just look at those faces. Look at the babies. So cute. I'm going to get them set up in one of these cages right here. I'm gonna try to make them as comfortable as possible. And then we're gonna head up to quarantine and visually triage the last 2 trailers that we are getting for the day.
So we're back in quarantine. We have 17 more horses here at the shelter right now that are ready to offload. We got one trailer that has 7 and the other trailer has 10. So we're gonna work our way through them just like we did this morning.
Be here when the cold night falls, and in the morning light. Be here in the autumn, when all the colors call. Be the burning memory of all the summers gone.
This horse loves to get scratched. It feels so good. I'll walk away and it'll come find me. Hi. It's like, wait a minute. This horse has definitely been somebody's pet.
All the days I'm here, be here to remind me.
Come on, babies. We're gonna move them forward because there's a stallion that's got to come off the trailer. You're all right, baby. I know. So painful. And what are we giving her?
This is Banamine. Yeah, she's got digital pulses. This is Flunix and Meglumine. It's a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory pain medication.
It'll make you feel better.
Yeah, we're gonna give it in a vein so that it kicks in quickly. This poor mare came in severe pain. Her heart rate is over 90. She's had intravenous pain medication, but she is actively foundering, and I suspect that her coffin bones are rotating through the bottoms of her feet. So she's in really, really severe pain. She's trying to keep herself from falling, and she has a sawhorse stance. She's trying to shift her weight back off of her severely painful front feet. She's about 25. I haven't rechecked her heart rate, but she's been in really severe pain for a long time. So we're gonna give her the last act of kindness and get her out of pain. Tawny and Kimberly got radiographs on that poor mare that was so incredibly painful. And these are some of the worst foundered feet I've seen. So normally the coffin bone runs parallel to the hoof wall, and in her case, the coffin bone is pointing here and the hoof wall is pointing here. So you can see how severe those changes are, but then most notably the coffin bone is just been so infected and so inflamed for so long that it resorbed. The bone just isn't there anymore. That coffin bone isn't there. I can't even imagine how much pain this mare was in. So we're taking a look at this little chestnut stallion in here. He's only 3.5. He's being a very good boy. And we are taking pictures and pulling blood for his Coggins test. Good boy, that was wonderful. I'm sorry for scaring you. Yeah.
You guys look fabulous. I was working really hard on having a location next to the auction or near to the auction for today's buyout and auction rescue, intercepting horses from the slaughter pipeline. Despite all my hard work, I wasn't able to really get a location secured down until it was too late. Now I do have plans for next month, so we should be able to do an actual solid buyout program for next month. If you watched the last month, we rented the fairgrounds, and halfway through the buyout at the fairgrounds, the fair manager came and kicked us off. So it all comes down to politics within small town communities in Tennessee. So we're working around them, and all we're trying to do is save horses. And the amount of loopholes and things we were having to jump over is absolutely ridiculous. But we are succeeding in still saving horses and intercepting them out of the slaughter pipeline, no matter how hard the auction and their buddies are trying to prevent us from rescuing horses.
It looks like she got her legs through something. She's actually got scars all over this right hind. You're so cute, and oh my goodness, your feet are a mess. This mare is our best body condition score of this whole group so far. She's a 5 out of 9, which is an ideal body condition score. She does have some pretty extensive scarring up underneath her tail and on the medial side of this whole right hind leg. So it looks like she had a wound that was very large, that's healed and done what it was supposed to, gotten smaller and smaller. She's got some more recent scars back here, but her joint palpates pretty normally, and she's not showing me any pain on palpation. So hopefully that's taken care of. Her front feet are very flat and overgrown, and she needs some farrier care, but overall she looks great. And she's only 16.
I'm pulling out vaccines because this horse looks healthy, and we're hoping she's going to be adoptable. She's really cute and seems really sweet. And the main issue we see so far is that she just needs farrier care. So hopefully she's going to be in a month ready to be adopted.
So this is a little mule, and he is about 18 years old. We were wondering if he had testicles, but upon palpation, he has some scar tissue back there, so I do not believe that he is intact. He does appear to have some issues with his hip, but either way, he's gonna go and hang out, and we will bring him back in another day to check him some more.
You just got a booger. I mean, this looks like a baby face.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, let's say 2.
Cool.
This is an odd mouth. I agree with you. I feel like this side looks like 2 and this side looks like 3. But let's...
2.5.
Yeah, I mean, we are within a 2 to 3 range. So yeah, this cute little filly looks to be about 2 years old. She needs some groceries, but otherwise she looks very healthy. So we are vaccinating her. We already got her blood for Coggins, and she's gonna go out in the 10 acre.
She's literally perfect. She does not resist anything. And she's like super sweet. But like some horses don't resist anything in like a scared way. And I feel like she's not resisting anything, but like in a just sweet, nice, I'm perfect baby way. Good job. Oh my goodness, you did so good. Oh my God. You didn't even flinch, and that was the biggest one.
So this is the last horse that we are doing today. This is also the 34th animal that we have looked at today. It appears to be about 24 years old. I'm gonna have Dr. Lydia take a check to see if I'm accurate on that guess when she comes over here. But we're gonna see what she needs and get her where she needs to go. I would say about 24-ish. It's got a rotten incisor.
I can go with 24.
Okay. Yep, mare.
She is shedding, so she may just have a winter coat, but she does look the weeest bit cushionoid, possibly.
Her head and
Yeah.
her ears.
Did you
And
go to
they
a
even
show
clipped underneath of her jaw.
They flipped it?
to make her look fancy?
Flipped what? Oh, her face?
Her hair, yeah.
Oh, weird. Very strange.
She's not crossing over or striking, and she passed proprioceptive placing. She's a little delayed. I think we can turn her out. I think she needs a more thorough lameness assessment. She's got such poor musculature on her whole top line. She could just be really gated and very weak. We just finished. We looked at 34 horses and the sun is still up, so that's kind of miraculous. We did kind of a triage situation today. We made sure that anything that was really, really painful got pain medications, and we've got a ton of horses scheduled for more diagnostics, but everybody's out grazing and eating hay, and we're gonna pack up and head back down.
We are asked to help hundreds of animals every single year. We cannot do that without your support. Being on the front lines of animal rescue, we see things that break our hearts. It's through donations that we're able to say yes to not only horses, but dogs and cats as well. Every animal deserves a second chance. At Horse Plus Humane Society, the plus in our name is for every other animal besides horses that needs help. And we help thousands and thousands of animals, but we can only do that through support from people just like yourself, donating to help us help the helpless. If we don't have support, we cannot save these animals. Please make a donation right now and be the difference for an animal in need. We are working on some very big projects here at Horse Plus Humane Society, and I'm going to take this awesome group of people and we're going to do a little brainstorming to figure out some of these projects. We can't go into the details just yet, but when we're able to release what's happening, it's going to be very, very exciting. So we're going to have a little brainstorming powwow, and you can watch us, but you can't hear what the plans are.
Dr. Gina and I are headed out to recheck Gustavo. He is our donkey with the low platelets anemia and the abscess on his neck. We're going to take his wrap off and see what it looks like underneath. Hi, little friend. Oh, your wrap isn't covering this spot, but it looks really good anyway.
We're just cleaning up this wound site, and then we're going to put some topical anti-inflammatory and wound treatment ointment.
Dr. Gina and I just finished rechecking Gustavo, our little donkey with anemia and really low platelets. And I'm really happy with how things look today. When we took the wrap off, the affected area was nice and dry. It does look like it's still open and draining a little bit, but a lot of the heat and swelling associated with the area on the right side of his neck is very improved. So Dr. Gina got it nice and clean, put some topicals on it. The left side of his neck, where he got an antibiotic injection yesterday, has a warm area that feels like a bruise to me. So because we know that he doesn't have, his platelet count was 1, because we know that his clotting factors are inhibited, it's likely that he had some bleeding associated with that one injection. So thankfully we know what's going on with him. It looks stable, he looks a lot better, but we're gonna continue to keep a very close eye on him. This is Cinder. Cinder came in through our buyout program in January. She was a body condition score of 1, so she was really emaciated and weak, and she got cast in one of our barns right after intake, and so we had to assist her to get up, and she had a very severely swollen head. Her eye was swollen shut, and she was pretty great. She let us help her. She had fluids and all kinds of stuff, so she's been on antibiotics, anti-inflammatories, and pain medication since then, and she's made a huge amount of progress. You can see her eye is really wide open, so Dr. Gina just put some topical anti-inflammatory, and we just wanted to get a really close look at it. All of these little areas where she lost skin are healing. She's already got hair growing back, so. And she really likes cookies. I think my pocket is empty. I ran out of them. We are up in quarantine. We had a bunch of horses, I think close to 15 from intake yesterday, who need further lameness exams and diagnostics. So we're taking a closer look at them and taking a bunch of x-rays. Yeah. Can I palpate this? Does it hurt, sir? Oh, it's just we are missing an incisor. Can I teeth? You have teeth. You have very pointy teeth. He's thinking about moving. Sorry. That's a great radiograph, you guys. And actually, his arthritis is not terrible. All right. I mean, he has teeth. Right here's periodontal ligament, so gun line is just below that. We have some movement, but like major hooks and ramps, this tooth is worn, but like we have occlusal surfaces. We just finished taking radiographs on a sweet gelding in his 30s. We took x-rays of his back, his teeth, and one of his joints that was a little bit swollen. His radiographs looked good. He definitely needs a dental float, so we have him down for that, and he is back outside. We took a closer look at this mare today. She has a very swollen right hind leg, so we were concerned that there might be something going on significantly, but it looks like she's got 2 big puncture wounds, and all of the heat and swelling seems to be superficial. Her x-rays were normal, which is great. She's getting systemic anti-inflammatory pain medication and also some systemic antibiotics to treat that infection, and then we cold hosed the leg, got the wounds really clean, and got some antibiotics applied there. You're super cute. Yeah.
Give me cookies, do it now.
So on the lateral view, it kind of looked like we had joint collapse, but on the DP view, we have 3 really nice, distinct, crisp lines. So I feel pretty good about that. She's got a little bit of some arthritis, but not horrible. 1, 2, go. Nope.
She heard you counting too. She moved, didn't she? Okay. I'll just hold my hand down here and hopefully
You're not in the primary. Okay, beautiful. She has a lot of dental pathology. I would like to sedate her, put a speculum on, and see what we have in there. We just finished taking radiographs on this sweet older mare. She needs a sedated dental float, but her radiographs of her withers and her leg checked out, and she's not painful, so we're really happy about that.
Let me hug your snoot. You're so cute.
All right, buddy. So we're gonna get off what we can, and then we're gonna use cold hose water to try to get more debris off, and then we're gonna finish cleaning and scrubbing what's left over. It is rock hard. I don't know how long ago this happened, but not recently. Okay, I'm gonna go turn the hose on. What do you think about this? Hey. So when we wear gloves to treat wounds, it's for 2 reasons. It's to keep our hands from contaminating the animal and keep the animal from contaminating us. In this case, I want to be able to really feel what I'm doing. Actually, look at this. It's might be healed up underneath here at the top anyway. See that? So now that I'm not seeing anything gnarly under there, I'm being a little bit more aggressive. Look at that. That's all that's under there.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow.
So this must have been a puncture wound with an abscess that had a ton of drainage, and this horse's body healed it on his own. Yeah. We are finished up with this gelding, and we're super happy. This almost never happens, but underneath a lot of really thick, horrible scabs and old bleeding, we found almost nothing. He's got 2 old wounds that look like they're 99% healed. So got him really nice and clean, got a good look, put some topical medication on them, and that's all he should need. So our gray gelding who had wound care today, we were gonna microchip him. We always scan him for a microchip. He was already microchipped, and we were able to trace it back to another sanctuary that purchased the chip in May of 2022. So this horse was recently adopted from another sanctuary and somehow ended up here. So we have the phone number for that other sanctuary where he was, and we're gonna contact them and see if we can find out more information.
They didn't answer.
I found this horse's picture on the Other Rescues website, or on their Facebook page. And they posted a picture of him, it says 47 weeks ago, so like almost a year ago. So they still had him like 11 months ago. So at some point in time, he got adopted out from them. Hopefully not stolen, but probably adopted out. And then that adopter, or maybe that adopter rehomed him, but at some point in time he fell through the cracks and went back into the slaughter pipeline. Thankfully, because of our buyout program, we were able to intercept him before he went back to an auction, or at least before he went back to an auction again. And we got him back out.
We are wrapping up our more thorough intake exams that we did today. We x-rayed 9 horses. And so some more got to go out in the 10-acre pasture, and then we put some more back out in Q1. And so now we get to go back down and everyone gets to rest for the day.
I am packing to head to Washington, D.C. I have a lot of trips planned this year, going to donors. A lot of donors have asked me to come to their place and kind of go over different programs we have. So if you're a donor out there or would like to become a donor and have a visit, be happy to tell you about our different programs. We have some pretty significant projects happening this year, but Washington, D.C. Is something that I'm very passionate about, because if we're not going to change the laws, these things are just going to continue happening. So I know I've already showed people multiple times all these cool things that I got, but I'm very, very proud of this little pamphlet of changing the laws, because these little papers could actually play a huge impact on that. And then I've got my, this is such an awesome little suitcase. Just in case they want their own little, how horses end up in the slaughter pipeline. And this one actually has our buyout program where we're intercepting horses. So that one's really neat. And part of the reasoning of having the suitcase is so my laptop can go in here, and that's where I do my presentations. And so I can close that up. But visuals are extremely key to helping people understand what's happening to horses. So I am actually going to be having these stacks go to Washington, D.C. with me. So this is Glimmers, and Glimmers has actually been there before. So his shoes will be going again. This stack is over 8 pounds, so I'm really excited to be able to take these, and when I'm talking about horses doing the big lick, they can actually hold them and look at them and imagine what it would be like for a horse to have this strapped to their foot 24/7. They're gonna go right in there like that. When we went to Washington, D.C. the first time, we carried everything, but you have to walk like 8 miles a day or more. Oof. And there's no way I'm gonna carry, those are just 2 stacks in there, and they're very heavy. So we'll be able to walk along the halls and go to these different offices and open up all this cool stuff to show them, and hopefully it'll bring a lot of awareness. So everyone's got everything under control here. There will be some other folks going on vacation. Everyone's gonna be running solo here, but I know we have an amazing team and everyone's gonna do great. The website, I'm hoping to get that done before I head out. So there should be a new website by the time this releases that you'll be able to check out. And I've been working very hard on it. So hopefully it's a lot better than the last one.
All right, John, do you have an announcement? So a few of us are going on vacation next week, and don't worry, there's gonna be a Horse Shelter Heroes episode because my media team is great and they're gonna do everything for me and I don't have to worry about a thing so I can enjoy my vacation. Except Chanko. Chanko will cause trouble.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Horse Shelter Heroes sponsored by Celia. Celia is an amazing company and they want to help horses. 20% of every order purchased through Celia will be donated to Horse Plus Humane Society. And the exciting thing is, if we can get 100 orders within the first month, they'll donate enough to save, we'll be able to save one more horse. They will donate $1,000 if we can sell to 100 people their first order. So check it out. The product is great, and the energy drink, I mean, you've seen in the episode, it helped out our staff, and you can always purchase it and send it to us as well. And it's really important to have, you know, all the supplements that we take care of for our animals. It's just as equally important to take care of ourselves. So please check out their website, place an order with the link below, and help us get to that 100 orders so we can rescue one more horse.
So on day 2 of our intake for the February buyout, we pulled a horse in that we set aside for further diagnostics. And we brought him in, we found out that he was otherwise healthy, does need a teeth float. But when we were going to put a microchip in, we stopped to scan him real quick and we found out that he was microchipped. When we looked up this microchip, we found out that it was sold to a rescue and that this horse had actually come from a rescue. So I reached out to the rescue and left them a message just to try to get more information on the horse to kind of figure out what his abilities are, what he knows, what he doesn't know. And they actually called me back today and they gave me more information on him. We did find out that he is broke to ride. So that is always a plus. We found out that he does not like the farrier, which is more good information that we typically don't get on these animals coming in. And we did find out what his previous medical history is as well. So we're gonna keep following this guy and kind of see how he does with us.
We are headed up to quarantine to continue doing intake things on the horses up there. Most of them have, actually I think all of them have had their initial intake exams, but now we're going up to do vaccines and some dentals.
Today we're going to be pulling them up. We have 2 different teams running. The vets will be working together, working on dental exams and floats, while the other team will be working on getting vaccines done. Our goal is to get all of the vaccines done today and all of the horses evaluated to see if they need their teeth floated.
This is PETA, and she's 12. Her birthday is in 2 months.
Good baby.
I love you.
Miss PETA just got her 5-way. Dr. Gina's working on giving her rabies if she'll stay still. Yeah. And then she will get all of her orals and she'll be complete with her intake. Good girl. So we just finished up with PETA. She got her orals and all of her vaccines. She is completely blind, so that's why she's being very much a leech. And all that's left for her is a preg check, because Dr. Lydia believes there is a possibility that we have a baby on board.
Good boy. What a good sir. What a good boy. This pony is blind in both eyes. One of his eyes is stable and small and non-painful, but the other eye is enlarged and painful, and he already can't see out of it. So he's scheduled to have a surgery to remove that eye next week. We just pulled blood for a CBC chemistry on him, and we're gonna make sure that he's systemically healthy enough. Dr. Gina and I are planning to do the surgery standing instead of under full anesthesia to give ourselves some more surgical time, so hopefully all goes well. Even though he can't see, he's very, very sweet. He actually hears your voice and tries to walk where you are, so I think he's gonna make somebody a really fun little companion horse. His lungs sound great and he has no heart murmur, so that's awesome.
All right, now we just need orals.
Orals, and he should be done.
So this horse, it does have a lot of nervousness. It looks like the halter was left on for way too long, and it was a halter that was way too small. So we're just gonna give him his orals and vaccines. You can't spit them out, you gotta eat them. All right, so we gave him everything that he needed. He does not need a dental, he's a younger horse, and Dr. Lydia had already checked his teeth. So he will be ready to go out. He's just munching on his cookies right now, and I'm waiting on some room to take him out.
Upper arcades look really good to me, but those bottom premolars have just some little points. I would say this is a very typical mouth that you'll see in private practice, is this, where you're like, yep, I'm just gonna take down those points, and I'm just palpating. Got one more little pointy point. Awesome, super easy mouth. I'm gonna rinse.
That's great.
Yay!
She just had some points on the top front premolars. Or no, the bottoms. Hers were the bottoms. But she just removed the points. She's good.
This is B2463, also known as Aaron and also known as Smokey. We found on intake that he was already microchipped, and we traced the microchip back to another organization. We were able to speak with them on the phone and get a little bit of history on him. Turns out that he is basically in his mid-20s. He was castrated as a 20-something-year-old. For his routine vaccines, he's going to be getting 5-way and rabies. He's also going to be getting a dental today because he's an old boy and he has okay body condition, but we'd like it to be a little bit better.
We don't like the orals. We don't like the orals. So he has gotten his dewormer, and he has also gotten his vaccine. So Dr. Lydia is gonna come over and sedate him, and he is ready for his dental.
This is Smokey. Smokey is an Arabian gelding in his 20s. We actually had to sedate him yesterday too for wound care. And we took radiographs and saw that he's got some pretty severe dental pathology. So Dr. Gina's gonna see if he has fixable dental pathology. So horses are brachydonts, not hypsodonts. Their teeth continuously grow until they get very, very old.
I think we can fit.
Oh, right. So even if they're old, sometimes we can fix some of that more severe pathology as long as they're not missing teeth or worn down to the level of the gums. It's all right.
He also has waves on his both sides. So his teeth do like this, and he's also missing his first molar on this side, on his right side. Just a few minor points. I couldn't do too much because if you do too much when they have really worn teeth and not so worn teeth, you can make them really sensitive. So I just got off the points. So we're just finishing up here at intake. We prioritized who needed to be evaluated for dentals, and we had 2 teams going. So Dr. Liddy and I were doing teeth, and everybody else was getting everybody in and weighing and finishing up their vaccines. And we got through 9 dental checks today. And what is like 8 out of the 9 we were able to float. So pretty productive day.